Hello, I'm Logan Torres.
And I'm Addison Bigna.
For this month's Sedans, I helped out at the big event, had a sit-down interview with the Chancellor, and then I'll sit down with our guest, Sarah Wegman, to get her thoughts on The Little Shop of Horrors, now playing at the Williams Theater.
I visited the Honor Showcase, saw LOL IPFW host their spring tournament, and got some free food and entertainment during Spring Fling.
And finally, we'll take a look ahead at what you can still do before the semester ends.
Spring Fling ran from April 17th to the 22nd, and we covered the daily events and talked to students to get their thoughts on the fun week. Spring Fling started on the 17th of April, with giveaways starting on Monday with lawn chairs and a performance from a live band. On Tuesdays, students were handing out canvas bags and coloring books with colored pencils while watching Bob Ross paint on the projector. Wednesday's giveaway were umbrellas and plants combined with a speech by Ron Jones. Jones is an executive director of Dialogues and Diversity, and we asked him if students learned one thing from his speech about culture and diversity, what would it be? Thursday, students handed out journals with pens, and entertainment was provided by musician Haley Klinkhammer and a slam poet. Finally, on Friday, there was a carnival on campus with power bank giveaways. Throughout the week, we also spoke to students and asked them what they gained and what their experiences were from events like Spring Fling.
But most importantly, getting a chance to know people who are going to be elected and who are going to be making big decisions about the campus.
I love the fact that you can meet new people on campus, and also it's a great way to get free food because we're all broke here.
Spring Fling was a great success, and we hope everyone enjoyed their time with each of the events and giveaways.
I had the chance to sit down with Chancellor Vicki Carwine and talk to her about her retirement.
In September of 2012, IPFW introduced a new chancellor into their hallways. Just 5 years later, Vicki Carwine made an announcement for her retirement after having implemented new programs to rebuild and improve the library and much, much more. We got to sit down with her for a one-on-one interview and asked her a few questions ranging from what her biggest accomplishments were, challenges she faced, her fondest memories here at IPFW, and if she had one message she could tell her students, staff, and coworkers, what would it be? So, how does it feel to almost be retired? What plans do you have after you leave IPFW?
When I retire, obviously I'm not going to be doing academic administration anymore, but really looking forward to, or university administration, but really looking forward to getting more connected with healthcare than I've been able to do, doing the kind of work I've done for the past 30 years or so. So I'm going to be busy in retirement.
Obviously, as Chancellor of IPFW for 5 years, you've had a lot of accomplishments here. But what would you say is your biggest or your best achievement as Chancellor?
Well, I think two of the things that that to me are real achievements here at IPFW, and I'll just be finishing my 5th year if the new chancellor is not hired until after September 1. So about 4.5 years. And so without question, the metropolitan, achieving the metropolitan designation for the institution. There's only one campus in the state of Indiana that's designated as a metropolitan institution, and that's IUPUI. I think the other thing that's been really important that I've done is really to really institute transparency on this campus. That really didn't exist prior to my arrival, and when I realized or discovered the budget challenges that we had and the issues that we had, I said, I want this information to be shared with the entire campus community. This is not just about a few people knowing what's going on here and trying to resolve the issues, but let's make sure that everyone knows where all of our money is, knows how it's being spent.
Well, in contrast to that question, what has been your biggest regret or the thing you would consider your biggest mistake maybe here at IPFW?
Just having to deal constantly with fixing some of those problems and dealing with budget issues and dealing with declining enrollment, as opposed to really spending a lot of time and energy on developing new things, exciting new programs. What could be some of the signature programs for this institution? What are the ways this institution could really distinguish itself and set itself apart? And those are the kinds of discussions that if there's any regret, it's that we really didn't have the time to engage in that kind of discussion about where this institution was going as opposed to being focused on fixing problems.
To go see the full interview, go online to our YouTube channel.
The second half of the Honors Showcase took place this month in the library. I met with students and the director of the Honors Program to talk about the opportunities the showcase offers. Part 2 of the Spring Honors Showcase took place early morning on April 7th at the Honors Center. Students presented their semester-long research to a small group of faculty and students in where they talked about what they have been learning and researching. Farrah Combs, the Honors Program Director, kicked off the event with opening remarks, and then students like Zachary Jones and Mariah Landon took to the floor with topics such as recreative music therapy, death and symmetry of non-existence, and single photon scattering. We spoke to a couple of the students and asked them why they think presenting their work is important, beneficial, and what kinds of experiences they were able to gain.
Doing this research project really expanded my skill set. I had taken a research methods class for music therapy, but actually being able to conduct the study and having to run the statistics and get the approval and doing all of that was really good experience that if I were to do research in the future, I would already have the skills and know how to do it.
If you think about it, during World War times, if the scientists didn't present or if they didn't circulate the papers that they did, the knowledge wouldn't be spread across the world.
We also sat down with the Honors Program Director and talked about what kinds of opportunities come up while in the Honors Program and after graduation.
Hopefully, if we can implement, which many universities do, implement experiential learning into their, while they're here, then they can graduate with the experience. And hopefully that would make them more marketable. They can go to their job, once they're in their job market, they'll say, oh yeah, I use this, I have this, I have this, I have this as an experience. So it's easier for them to get a job than others, perhaps.
Not only are students able to earn up to $1,000 worth of scholarship money to study abroad, teach, and research, but they also gain advantages in experience, academics, advising, and extracurricular activities. For more information about the Honors Program, you can visit them on the second floor of the library or visit their IPFW website.
The big event was this month, and the huge volunteer effort saw hundreds of students turn up to give back to the community. I went to lend a hand and to find out more.
IPFW held its 6th annual big event Saturday, April 8th. Over 500 dons loaded into buses and trolleys and set out to lend a hand to one of 39 organizations across Fort Wayne. The big event is an opportunity for students to give back to their community by volunteering their time with their friends. We visited a few of these groups to find out what inspires students to spend their Saturdays serving their community.
It makes my heart warm, giving something back to the community. I've always liked doing it. This is my 3rd year actually doing it, so it's really exciting. Getting all your friends together and help out the community, giving up your Saturday, I think is probably the funnest thing to do.
I'm not from Fort Wayne, but I've been overwhelmed with how many resources there are and the sense of community that people have and how much people help each other. And I just think it's really exciting to be in a community that has that, and I am happy to be a part of it.
What motivated me to do this is the fact I really like to serve people and serve God through serving others, and that's what I enjoy the most.
We also asked students what they found was most rewarding about volunteering.
The fact that I'm helping these future entrepreneurs, CEOs, doctors, lawyers, being able to help them, it warms my heart.
A sense of pride, IPFW pride, that we take effort to make our community look better and nicer.
Being able to put some work into the community and watch it grow and watch it become this great thing that Fort Wayne has become in the past few years.
Lastly, we spent some time with Vicki Carwine to find out a little bit more about the big event's history and what it means for IPFW.
It's a national program where universities once a year, it's a day of giving back to the communities that these universities live in. And so for us, this is the sixth time that we've done this, and we were the first university in the state of Indiana to actually participate in this national program. So I'm really proud of that. This community has been so supportive of this institution, number one. Secondly, by far the majority of our students come from Fort Wayne and Allen County and these 11 counties or 10 counties that surround us. And so it's particularly meaningful that this university would then give back to the community.
The Dons would like to thank all those who volunteered at this year's big event.
Now until April 29th, the Williams Theater is putting on Little Shop of Horrors, a classic musical about a flower shop assistant who discovers a new plant that favors the taste of human flesh. Our very own theater critic, Sarah Wegman, saw the musical and is here to share her thoughts. So Sarah, what did you think of the musical overall?
It was really, really good. It was a very good creative mixture of romance, comedy, horror, and even some rock and roll in there. The music was awesome. The cast was really, really good. Just overall, a very, very good production.
You were there. What did you think of the actors who played those roles, and how do you think they did?
The actors, they played their characters so well. The main character, Seymour, was played by Ethan Lichtel, and he did a really, really good job just by his emotions on his face and everything. He really sold his character. He just did phenomenal.
Now, of course, one of the obvious draws to a musical is the singing and the dancing. So how did the singing and the dancing work for you?
All of the characters have amazing voices. All of the songs were very upbeat. I found myself tapping my foot along with them, as well as the people sitting next to me. I noticed they were doing it too. But they're just very happy songs, and they made you feel really good.
And something that really, really draws me in personally to a play is the atmosphere of the play, and a lot of that comes in with the set design, the costumes, and the lighting even. So how is that in this production?
Yeah, so it takes a lot that goes into this musical. The set was very well put together. It looked real and amazing. The lighting, there was so many different lights that came on that really set the mood for what was happening on stage. The music was great. There's a live band, which was amazing to me. And it just, everything put together made the musical really come to life.
Great. Well, thank you for that review, Sarah.
At the beginning of April, we went to the biggest event in LOL IPFW history, where over 200 people from universities all around the Midwest came to compete for glory in the League of Legends tournament. Do you like esports? If you do, then you probably already knew about the League of Legends spring tournament held on April 1st. 4 different tournaments of 4 different rankings ranging from low and high elo, the Invitational, and a solo queue were all held in the International Ballroom from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Donuts were served for breakfast to encourage over 200 players and spectators to show up early and set up their gaming rigs, which included PCs, laptops, monitors, RGB mechanical keyboards, mice, and mics. Also who showed up were commentators Jeremy Griggs and Brad Pushkar. They were giving play-by-plays of the Invitational event while projecting it onto the big screen and live streaming on Twitch for spectators to watch. The first 6 hours consisted of the qualifying rounds where a little over 30 teams such as Ball State, IU, Manchester, Indiana Tech, IPFW, and Michigan State showed up to battle to be part of the grand finale. Prizes included $500, gold medals, Toshiba SSDs, and much, much more. We sat down with the president of LOL IPFW, James Malcolm, and he talked about how an organization such as his can impact IPFW.
That's another thing that I take pride in, is being able to say that we bring in students, we bring in that people that wouldn't come here. They go somewhere else, a bigger college where you can't get that, or where they think they have to go to get a community like this. But it's here if people look for it.
The bracket tournament and a late lunch from Hungry Howie's and Subway started around 5 p.m., but some players brought their own snacks and fuel, like energy drinks, cupcakes, cookies, and even a crock pot. We talked to a few of the players and got their thoughts about playing in the tournament.
Well, the game that got us into the bracket was actually a really tough game. It was versus Manchester, and they were definitely pretty good, and we had to play some interesting things. We managed to win, but it was definitely one of our harder games.
Oh man, it was amazing. It was pretty sweet. We went 0-3. It was just really bad time for the beginning, and then we found our team comp. We switched some people around, and we just started steamrolling for 3 straight games, and then the 4th game, we actually beat one of the teams we lost to in the beginning.
Fast forward a couple hours later, after power outages, connection problems, a cosplay contest, and raffle giveaways to the Final Four, where number 1 seed Michigan State faced number 4 IU, and number 2 Purdue played against number 6 IPFW. Michigan took the first win in the grand finale, but that did not stop Purdue from coming back and crushing Michigan in the second round. At the start of the third round, MSU was down 1-4 kills, but came back to lead 9-5, and maintained the lead throughout the rest of the game. In the end, MSU would be victorious and win the Invitational. First place also went to Tournament Mastery 7 in the High Elo Division, Damnation in the Low Elo, and Hamlet in the Solo Queue Tournament. For more information, visit lolipfw.com. If you were looking to take out little frustration this month, students had the chance to relieve it by smashing a car. Joe and I stopped by to take a swing at it and found out more about the cause. Students took out their frustration and stress on April 12th by smashing a car with a sledgehammer. The $1 event took place in the parking lot between Kettler and the Engineer Building from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Even though finals week is just a couple weeks away, it was not the focus on why this organization encouraged people to come out and take a swing. We spoke to the treasurer and president of Destiny Rescue, a student club here on campus, and asked him what was going on.
So my name is Seth Schmank. I'm the treasurer for Destiny Rescue here on IPFW's campus. Destiny Rescue is actually a national organization that goes overseas and rescues children from human trafficking. So what we're doing here today is raising some funds and awareness to help those kids as well.
The mission is really to help those girls find freedom, and what we do here is raise funds to support that with our student org on campus. So we're doing a car smash. It's $1 per hit, so all the funds that we make from this will help rescue a child. It's $1,500 to do that, and we're almost to our goal, so this is our last fundraiser to help us get there.
We also talked with a couple of donators and asked what their thoughts were on smashing a car to raise awareness about human trafficking.
In fact, I would normally not pay money to hit a car with a sledgehammer, but when I found out that this was a cause, then I think this is a great cause and I support it, so that's why I was willing to pay money to hit a car.
I think that's very good that they have such a fun way to raise money, I guess.
After enough funds have been donated, the organization will rescue a child and the child will live in a Destiny Rescue sponsored home. The child will then go through a restoration process that focuses on healing and education, in which afterwards they will be able to re-enter society equipped with the strength and education to live a hope-filled life. For more information about Destiny Rescue here at IPFW, you can visit their Facebook page or visit the website at www.destinyrescue.org.
Now let's take it over to Aaron Stevens with sports. How are we doing here, Aaron?
Hey Addison, and I hope everyone is having a great end to the spring semester. A team that is struggling this semester is the Fort Wayne's baseball team. This week I spoke with seniors Jake Weber and Jackson Boyce and their head coach Bobby Pierce about the season and what they need to do to try to make it into the postseason.
We just got to stay within ourselves, and I know the season has been a struggle. We just got to keep constantly improving and keep working at it every day. I would explain the season as a struggle, as what if, as almost, but we're not giving up, and we'll stay out here and keep working. Just as a team, we got to take it one game at a time, one pitch at a time, and compete every time we're out there. That's the only way we're going to get back into it. If we are, we can't roll over. So that's our approach right now. We're just going to take it one pitch at a time.
Just consistency. We just got to consistently get a little bit better every day and keep grinding on and off the field and just working towards one goal. We just got to keep playing good baseball. We played 2 good games last weekend, so we just got to keep doing that and pushing forward and just staying consistent with our work ethic. My goal is obviously, I think, to win them all. Kind of, we gotta get going, get in a good rhythm, and it'll be nice to get off the bus a little bit and play a couple games at home.
It's been frustrating. At the same time, there's a lot of season left. We do have some good senior leadership on this club, and it starts from within, and our seniors have been leading and trying to focus the group on the next page, the next game, the next pitch, and we look forward to finishing the season on a high note as the schedule allows us to play more home games. We got to do a lot. We got to start winning some games, and we have to start sweeping people. But to be honest with you, we're trying to focus and get away from that. You know, it's one of those things where we want to stay away from the got tos and need tos, because that just puts outside pressure. The game's hard enough and it's pressure packed enough as it is. We're trying to relax and play the game pitch by pitch, and hopefully maybe we can surprise ourselves and find ourselves in a pennant race down the last road of this stretch. It's been great. You know, the results again have been disappointing, but they come to work every day, working hard, preparing to win, and they've been great generals on our field, leading the way, demonstrating to younger people that you move on from the past and don't carry it with you, and it's been a fun group to work with.
The men lost 10-11 to IUSB on Wednesday. They currently have lost the past 8 games, which is the longest streak this season. Next, they play Western Illinois for 3 games, Purdue, then they head to Oral Roberts for another 3 games. Fort Wayne softball went 1-2 against conference opponent South Dakota State this week. They also lost against Eastern Illinois on Tuesday. Next, they'll be playing Bowling Green and then head to South Dakota for 2 games. Earlier this month, Fort Wayne men's volleyball ended their season losing the final 10 games. They did not clinch a postseason spot and ended their season against Lewis on April 8th. That's it for sports. I wanted to thank all the seniors and other student athletes for their incredible work this year, and good luck to the athletes still participating this semester. Go Dons, and back to you guys.
The IPFW Department of Fine Arts hosted the Senior BFA exhibition on April 6th at the Visual Arts Building. Students displayed their work throughout the gallery as part of their senior thesis project. Many different pieces of artwork, including sculptures, printmaking, and paintings, were all inspired by elements like nature, pollution, space, and economic and social issues. Faculty, family, friends, and art enthusiasts from Fort Wayne attended the open house reception and mingled with one another while admiring, gazing, and even buying some of the pieces. We spoke to a couple of the graduating students and asked them how they got into art and what they hope to do upon graduation. We also got the chance to catch up with Dana Goodman, a professor of sculpture, and asked him what kind of post-grad opportunities students have as they're making the transition into the professional field. The exhibition is free and the artwork will be on display in the Visual Arts Gallery until May 7th. For more information about the Department of Fine Arts, visit their website at www.ipfw.edu/fine-arts.
IPFW's Ballroom Dance Club is hosting their Swing into Summer Dance April 29th in the Wald Classic Ballroom from 7 to 10. IPFW students can get in free and are encouraged to attend because president of the club, Logan Miller, needs friends.
The Dons is hiring.
That's us.
That's us, guys. Your local campus media board is looking for applicants for the producer position this spring. We'll be looking to fill editing, reporting, production assistant, and director positions in the fall. For more information, stop in at the IPSGA office in WALP 225.
Commencement is May 10th at the Coliseum. Congratulations to those graduating. Be sure to come out and celebrate with the class of 2017.
Finals week is right around the corner, and I hope everyone is doing their best to finish the semester strong. For those who need to cram for the final exams, the library is going to be open 24 hours during finals week.
And speaking of finals, this is our last show for the semester.
It is.
I think that so far my favorite, throughout the whole semester, my favorite thing that we covered was the initial interview we did with Chancellor Carwine when we had LSA and USAP that a lot of people were bothered by. It really opened up not only my eyes to some of the stuff that I didn't know about, but my friends as well.
Okay. Mine probably isn't too much like that. I would have to say the first event that I actually covered, which was a history conference, it was a really cool experience being my first event and just trying to get used to everything, which kind of led me to everything else. I think my favorite event might have been the LOL esports tournament, the spring tournament, the Overwatch tournament. Those were really fun. There was like a lot of cool people, a lot of cool computers and stuff like that. So I would
Those
definitely,
are always a good time.
yeah, those are definitely my number one. Well, that's all we have for you today from the Dons. Keep up by following us on IPSGA and tune in next semester for more IPFW news.
Thanks for watching.